Is 2026 the year of One Nation? Well, certainly going off this latest Fox and Hedgehog poll, it may well be.
All right, let's talk about it. Firstly, when you mentioned the Fox and Hedgehog poll, I'd never heard about them before, so I went and Google searched to try and find it. And when I went to the About the Source on Google, it came up with this because their site was only first indexed, you can see it there, 5 months ago. So I went and checked out their webpage, and in the About Me section, you can see it was founded by Michael Horner. This Michael Horner. And when I scroll down to experience, I can see that, yeah, June 2025 is when he set this up, but then there's the rest of his experience. Advisor to the Leader of Opposition, and well, all these parliamentary positions are underneath the Liberal Party. And it was confirmed on another website that he is a former Peter Dutton staffer. So let's check out the results of the survey, which you can see in full if you go to their website. They've got a link. And the research methodology statement says that it was conducted over the 5th and 6th of January, so just 2 days, and it had a sample size of 1,600 respondents, which was interesting because on the site that I found that was comparing this result with the Roy Morgan result, it says that Morgan's practice since May has been to publish large-scale sample results, whereas this recent result from them is one that's limited to just around that 1,600 mark as well. But let's go back to the one the Daily Telegraph was reporting on, which is this result here. And you can see that since the 2025 election, One Nation have gone from 6% to 21%. But it'd be interesting to see how that survey question was asked, because here they got Labor, Coalition, Greens, One Nation and Independent Other lumped together. And whether this was lumped together in the question or whether they listed out all the parties, that may sort of skew the results between who people picked here. But let's give them the benefit of the doubt there. They also conducted a 3-party preferred and a 2-party preferred matchups. And you can see in the 3-party preferred that Labor have 46%, One Nation 25%, and the Coalition 29%, which lends credence to an idea that I had in a video that I posted just last week, and right-wing creators have had this same theory, that to beat Labor, it would have to be a coalition between One Nation and, well, the Coalition, the Liberals and Nationals. And when we look at the matchups, you can see that Labor is still ahead of the Coalition, Labor is still ahead of One Nation, and the Coalition is still ahead of One Nation. And let me know if you think I'm correct here, but this is telling me that there's a percentage of Coalition voters that would still vote Labor over One Nation, and there's a percentage of Labor voters that would still vote Coalition over One Nation, which flows on from the pattern from the last election, where if you were to vote one Labor or the Coalition, you would still preference one of them ahead of One Nation. And when you look at the breakdown of the demographics, you can see that it's the 50 to 64 demographic that's pushing the One Nation vote ahead in the polls, and it's the 18 to 34 demographic that really are pushing almost a similar rate, the Greens ahead in the polls. There's a similar pattern across the board. And when we look at the approval ratings, well, both are down, but a fairly big chunk saying never heard of Susan. Following that trend of never heard ofs, who is responding to a political poll that hasn't heard of the Labor or Liberal Party? And what's particularly worrying about this poll for Green supporters is that 45% say they've never heard of Larissa Waters, the leader of the Greens. But I'd have to guess there and say that that might come down to people in these demographic age ranges. And that's it. That's the poll everyone's raving about, so let me know what you think it means in the comments.